everyone, my name is Alyssa, and today myself and Law Tigers are going to help you change your motorcycle's brake pads. Most modern motorcycles these days use disc brakes, so there's a caliper with hydraulic pistons that push the brake pads against the rotor to slow you down. Let's get into it. First off, let's talk brake pads. There are three main categories: sinter, semi-metallic, and organic, of different costs and wear, although most popular is sinter, and in different styles to fit different brake calipers. During this project, you're not going to want to touch your front brake, so maybe put something over it just to remind yourself. So let's get that caliper off. Wow, these are really bad. These definitely need to be replaced, and I certainly left them on the bike far too long. So we'll remove the pin and the brake pads, and wow, that is bad. That's even through the metal. These pistons in the caliper also are due for a good cleaning as they push out against the brake pads, so we'll clean those up. Grab some brake cleaner, some gloves because that's some nasty stuff, and your significant other's toothbrush. Then we're gonna get in there and start cleaning those pistons. Remember that clip and which way it goes, that's important. That helps hold the brake pads in place. And then we're going to work on pushing the pistons back into the caliper to make room for the new brake pads. You can help yourself out by venting the brake master cylinder, just allowing that fluid to kind of push back up. And we push those in, making more room. Because these new brake pads are going to be a lot thicker than the old ones. Look at that difference. And extra credit, we are going to grease the back of the brake pad that sits next to the pistons, just so that it can slide nicer. You don't need much grease, just a little bit on there, and we'll put it into its spot. See how it clips in, and then the pin will go on the bottom, and we'll put the other side in as well. And for this one, we put the pin back in, and we'll tighten the pin up one more time while it's on the bike with more leverage as well. There are different types of calipers. Just as an example, this is a different sort of brake caliper. This is a monoblock, so this requires different brake pads and there's no pin, so just different ways to do it. Again, trying to make some more room so that the rotor will fit in here. You can take a screwdriver and just use it to kind of pry the pads and the pistons back. Don't scrape the pads. And once there's enough room, we can get it back onto the motorcycle around the rotor, and you can double check the torque spec required in your owner's manual. And going for some extra credit, I'm going to bleed the brakes and get some fresh fluid in there. So I'm just making a little receptacle for the brake fluid and attaching it to the bleeder valve. Up at the master cylinder, I'm going to leave the lid on there loosely so that it won't squirt as I pump the brake, but I can also keep an eye on it if the fluid level starts to drop too low and suck in air, as we don't want that. So now pump the brake lever to pressurize the system, and then hold it in, and at the bottom release the bleeder valve. Close the valve and again pressurize the system. Repeat this until there aren't any bubbles in your line. Add brake fluid as needed, and once you're finished, tighten everything up and wipe off any excess. You should have fresh brakes. Now you've got some fresh braking power on your motorcycle. Do take it easy for about the first 100 miles or so, just as they're beginning to wear and break into your machine. No heavy braking until they've kind of got a moment to settle. And should you ever need them, let's talk about Law Tigers. They are the motorcycle lawyers that are advocates for motorcyclists both in the community and in the courtroom. If you're ever injured in a motorcycle accident, give Law Tigers a call even before your insurance company so they can help fight for you to get you the compensation that you and your motorcycle deserve. There are some helpful links in the description about Law Tigers and their free legal advice that they offer to you if you ever need them. My name is Alyssa, and I will see you in the next one.